Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Sharizal bin Muhammad AZAHARI from class AC1101C. As the leader for my group, I will be the first one to present for our group assignment for subject ECO162. So, my teammates and I have chose an article to be the base for our group report, which is about the demand for rice in Malaysia. So without much talking, let's see the slide that I have created for the introduction for this article. In the beginning, the rice was created from paddy. So in the past, the farmers used the paddy to create rice by using basic cultivation. But in this modernized era, a modern approach of science and technologies have been taken. So right now they don't have to use the basic cultivation anymore, as they have the specialized technologies to use to cultivate the paddy automatically. Now, rice not just contributing in the social aspect, but it has become an actual things. It it has providing jobs and income for the farmers, and right now, farmers is an actual job. And that's it for the introduction for the demand of rice in Malaysia. So
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ari bin IDRUS. Me and my friend Muhammad IKHWAN RIFQI from class AC1101C
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone.
and from group 5. We will present the summary of microeconomics issue on supply and demand of rice in Malaysia.
Supply and demand of rice in Malaysia. Why is rice is very important in Malaysia? The rice production in Malaysia is very important in terms of providing and supplying the staple food for the citizen in the country based on growing demand and the population. The local producer cannot supply 100% of production. They can only cater approximately 65% of domestic demand. But there is been a steady increase from the year 2007 onwards of locally rice production. But however, it is still insufficient to meet the increasing demand. Then, in order to boost the local rice production to cope with the increasing demand, the government allocated Rm 1.3 billion subsidies to the local supplier. Therefore, our country cannot fully depend on import of rice to replenish the remaining required rice supply to the local consumer, as these have high risk.
The rice production in Malaysia are influenced by several factors. As example, land availability, inadequacy in technology and infrastructure, and weather. Any changes in these factors will affect the supply of rice. As example, land availability. If we don't have enough land availability, this will affect the supply of rice that cannot cope with the demand of rice, and it will make the demand is higher than the supply, and this will affect the price that will increase. Next one, inadequacy in technology and infrastructure. It means that it has a low technology and have a not good infrastructure to produce rice. This will make the cost to produce rice high, and the price of rice is high, so and the demand will decrease. Last one is weather. The weather in Malaysia usually have two weathers, which is hot and patch dry seasons and the monsoon season. This will affect the productivity of rice.
My name is RUMEL. I'm going to present about discussion based on the microeconomic theory. Based on the article that we have been studied, There are several things that we can conclude with microeconomic theory. Firstly, demand. For the first point that we can relate it is about market demand. In the study, as we all know, that Southern Asia countries including Malaysia, rice is the essential part of the local culture and used staple food for Southern Asia. So, the production of used form to meet the growing demand from consumer. External factors. There are many external factors, but there are the most including in the article. Consumers' income. Goods that increase in demand as income increases just like rice. The rice is the daily food in Malaysia made demand increases. Population or number of buyers. Demand depends on size of total population or number of buyers in market. Malaysian population become larger with a high rate of growth creates a greater demand for goods and service. Festive season and climates. Climates in Malaysia uncontrollable and may change while the yield, cultivated area and value of rice crop are affected. The factors such as temperature, rainfall and soil moisture. The last one is consumers' fashion, taste and preference. Malaysia more reference rice as their daily food, same goes another Asian country.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SHAMIMI ARISSYA. So I will explain about supply. Based on this article that my group and I have studied, we found that rice production in Malaysia is supply for the local market only. It is because there are several factors that influence it, and these factors can categorize as a non-price determinant of supply. Okay, for the first determinant is high production cost. Production cost in Malaysia is higher than the price of rice in the international market itself. Therefore, when the production cost increase, the quantity supply for rice will decrease. Next, lack of land availability. Malaysia lack the areas for river system to produce the rice. And land is a non-renewable resources. And these factors follow the basic economic concept, which is scarcity, that explain about human wants is unlimited, but factors of production is limited. So, same like these factors, we can remember that Malaysia wants to supply more rice, but have an obstacle such as lack of land availability. Okay, the third point that we can relate with microeconomic theory is dependency of subsidy. Malaysia government had allocated RM1.3 billion subsidies to the paddy farmers, which include the price subsidies, seed and fertilizer subsidies. And in non-price determinant of supply, this point explain more clearly about government policies, which is if government increase the subsidies, so the supply for us will decrease too. Because the subsidies that are given by government can help reduce the burden to issue a larger amount of capital.
My name is IZATULWANIDA binti Muhammad HAFIZAN. In conclusion, rice is a staple food in the countries of Southeast Asia, including Malaysia. So, there are a lot of demand of rice. Malaysia currently produces 75% for local demand annually. The demand and population are rising, but the local development can only meet 60 to 65% of requirements. In order to meet the remaining necessary supply of rice to local market, the country cannot completely rely on the importation of rice. We need to learn from the food crisis in 2008 that dependency on others considered as a huge challenge when other countries refuse to supply rice to us. The current rice self-sufficiency is at 75% and the remaining percentage mainly come from Vietnam, Thailand and Pakistan. By 2020, Malaysia aims to achieve 100% rice sufficiency.
And that's all for our group presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as the leader for my group, I would like to apologize if there have been any wrongly chosen of word or language that may be offended anyone. And thank you for watching, and assalamualaikum.